A brunette with a show-stopping smile.
She was voted best personality her senior year. She was voted most talented. She was voted Miss School Spirit.
19-year-old Shelley Sikes is the last person anyone thought would be murdered.
I thought, Shelley, of all people, this would happen to Shelley?
Her mother, her sister, and police believe they know who did it. 2 men went to prison, convicted of kidnapping Shelley in 1986, but her body was never found. It was Memorial Day weekend, and Galveston was packed. But one night of partying, fueled by alcohol and drugs, turned to murder.
Where was she the night she disappeared?
She was at work at Guido's and had gotten off work and was headed home.
It was right here.
Detectives found Shelley's car.
The driver's door was right here.
Right off the causeway. A blue Ford Pinto. We found video of it digging through boxes of evidence at the Galveston County Sheriff's Office. And pictures few people have ever seen.
Her clothing, her shoes, her tennis shoes.
Despite the evidence, detectives had no suspects until a year later, when an El Paso dispatcher got this call.
How can I help you? I think I know something about a girl that's missing in Galveston County. What's her name? Shelley Sikes.
It was John King on the phone, and soon after came an arrest.
Oh, I was like jumping up and down. I said, we got you.
But then came a twist. In a chilling note, King said he wasn't alone, and a guy named Gerald Zwarst might know where to find Shelley's body.
This was their stomping grounds. I mean, they were familiar. This area was a well-known area for the kids to hang out and party.
Investigators say King and Zwarst picked Sikes at random. They harassed her, she flipped them off, and they ran her off the road.
When they had buried her, they realized she was still alive because the dirt was moving. And they took a shovel and began beating it till she stopped.
To hear those kind of things and know how terrified she must have been, and it's just horrible. No family should ever have to go through anything like that.
But Shelley's mother, Erin, had to live with the fact that King and Zwarst wouldn't be tried for murder. Because there was no body, they were only convicted of aggravated kidnapping with life sentences, which at the time carried 40 years.
It's like a sore that can never heal.
Shelley's family spent the past decade fighting parole, even offering to grant both men immunity if they led police to Shelley's body. But instead, it turned into a wild goose chase, first with King.
When King first brought you guys out here, what'd you think?
We kind of thought that, she's going to be buried behind his house.
Then Zwarst led investigators to this blouse found in a sand pit. It looked just like her work uniform, but her family still isn't convinced.
I know the papers and everyone says that it was hers. We really don't know if it was hers.
In the end, detectives think Shelley's body was moved. But King died in prison in 2015.
There was relief because I wouldn't have to fight his parole anymore. But then there was anger because he died without telling us where Shelley was.
Leaving only Gerald Zwarst.
He swears to this day that if he knew where she was moved, he'd tell us. So
You believe him?
I have no reason not to.
It's from the 80s after all. There's her second birthday.
Shelley's family is not giving up.
I don't want him to have any kind of a good life to live because he certainly didn't allow my sister to have any kind of a good life to live.
Zwarst is up for parole this year, and they're preparing for a fight. Still hoping one day they can bring their sweet Shelley home.